Championship Sunday at the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament, and if this has a familiar feel, it should. It's the two teams that contested last year's SEC Championship, the University of Texas and the University of South Carolina. They met twice in the regular season. They split each. But this isn't what you would call a neutral site rubber match. Both with 30 wins, both in all probability are heading for #1 seeds when the NCAA tournament brackets are announced next week. Today, Texas looks for validation, their first championship in the SEC, while South Carolina goes for one for the second thumb and try to become just the second team in the history of the conference to win this tournament at least 10 times. How did each team get here? Both teams got byes into the quarterfinals. South Carolina, they beat Kentucky by 23 in the quarterfinals, while Texas beat Alabama. Yesterday in the semis, Carolina beat LSU 83-77. And Texas an 85-68 winner over Mississippi. Two teams ranked 3rd and 4th in the United States in the national rankings. This ought to be like a heavyweight fight. Seth Eaves with you here. Thank you so much for being with us. We even save you the proverbial best seat in the house. This should be a doozy. Texas and South Carolina, the automatic bid from the SEC, a game where in some ways you can kind of be free-ish. Yes, you obviously want to win a championship. You don't want to lose, but you have bigger fish to fry. It could be a good learning experience down the can. Texas in burnt orange, the burnt orange-clad Longhorns get us underway with Rory Harmon. Now Justice Carlton. Horns going right to left with Madison Booker. Booker now over to Carlton. Carlton on the left block. Carlton inside. Good job. It's Brea Cunningham inside. And Texas with the first two of the day. South Carolina left to right and white. And it's an offensive foul on Raven Johnson to start the game. Again, these two met twice in the regular season. Even though only one counted as a conference game, they played in the Players Era tournament in Las Vegas on the week of Thanksgiving. Texas won a close game. Both these games were rather competitive. Harmon top of the key. Harmon's mid-range jumper good, and Texas a 4-0 lead. Got the two Johnsons along with Latson, Edwards, and Ocott, the starting five for South Carolina. Here's Raven Johnson. Now it's Tessa. Kick out. Corner three. Oh, air ball. Air ball by Joyce Edwards. Booker. Inside. Jump shot is good. A friendly roll and a jackrabbit start for Texas. They lead 6-0, 90 seconds in to this opening quarter. Here's Edwards on the right wing. Johnson, oh, what a steal. Carlton, all the way. And it's an 8-0 start for Texas. Jackrabbit start for the ladies in burnt orange. Orange-clad Longhorns are feeling it early. Latson left block. Back to Edwards. Edwards, another turnover. A fast break, 2-on-1. Bounce pass, Booker. Lays it in. It's a 10-0 start for Texas. Dawn Staley is stoic and stone-faced. Here's Raven Johnson for South Carolina. Johnson right wing. Pass deflected. Edwards threw it away. Out of bounds. This is an uncharacteristic slow start, to say the least, for South Carolina. Again, these two teams met November 27th. Texas won 66-64 in that one. The rematch came in Columbia, the game that counted as a conference game, January 15th, 68-65, South Carolina. Two tight games. Texas taking out some of their frustration early on, though. Booker hits the midi. Texas, 6 of 6. It's a Texas Hold'em type start here. Tessa Johnson falls and out of bounds, and it's going to be Texas, South Carolina ball still. So here's Raven Johnson to inbound for South Carolina. Gives it to Edwards. Now it's Raven Johnson. Edwards picked off. Harmon. Carlton. Got it. And now Dawn Staley takes a timeout. Vic Schaefer's team not messing around to start. 14-0. How about that? If you're just joining us, no, that's not a misprint. Texas is 7 of 7 from the floor, 12 points in the paint. South Carolina, largest deficit at the SEC tournament in the last 8 seasons. Edwards to inbound. And inbounds pass. And oh, that's stolen. Oh, almost stolen. Now, Raven Johnson. Tessa Johnson for three. And finally, South Carolina's on the board. Tessa Johnson for three. 14-3. The lead for Texas. Carlton now over to Booker. Harmon to Carlton. Now it's Lee. Booker for Texas into the lane. Booker. Now Harmon. Harmon. Now Lee. Lee into the paint. Lee knifes in. No good. Inbounds. Carlton missed. Carlton again. Now a turnover. A lot of South Carolina fans in the stands at Greenville, and they are rather shell-shocked at the present time. They're in a 14-3 hole. Here's Raven Johnson, jump shot. Coming off a career game yesterday against LSU and missed the shot. Madison Booker lost her shoe. Good sportsmanship by Tessa Johnson, giving it to her. Harmon hits the jumper at the free throw line. 16-3. Here is Raven Johnson. Bounce pass Edwards. Now it's Raven. Raven Johnson with 15 to shoot. Lob inside Edwards. Edwards into the post. And it's a jump ball. Lee had the block. And this is where the jump ball, as bad as the rules it is, period, it's situations like that where it can really stink. That's a good defensive play by Jordan Lee, and you don't reward it because the arrow just so happens to go in South Carolina's favor in that situation. Maddie McDaniel into the game. She's got given South Carolina good minutes this week. Inbound to Ocott. Ocott's shot bounces off the rim twice and doesn't go in. Rebounded by Booker on the right wing. Booker gives it to Cunningham. Harmon. Left block jumper, no. Rebound South Carolina. Here is McDaniel. McDaniel now trying to weave through. McDaniel crosses midcourt. McDaniel now over to Ocott. Ocott, and looked to be a collision between Ocott and Booker. Meanwhile, that looks to be Raven Johnson being tended to on the South Carolina bench, behind the bench. So she picked up a knock. Blair Schaefer, the assistant, the daughter of Vic. Is wanting something. Here we go back the other way with Latson. Her shot blocked. Stays with South Carolina. 15 on the timer. Edwards. Jumper in the paint for the SEC logo. It is no good. Rebound gathered in by Carlton. Now here is Booker. Booker with 19. Booker now trying to get over to the right wing. Now finds Carlton. Carlton. High post. Booker. 7 to shoot. Booker with 4. Booker, step back 3. Rimmed out. Great rebound, Carlton. Then had it snatched away by Ocott. Here is McDaniel. McDaniel all the way and scores. Maddie McDaniel with a basket, and it's a 16-5 lead for the University of Texas. I'd like to welcome those of you that might have been following other streams or other events like the ACC Women's Championship. That's not a misprint if you're just tuning in. A jumper from Justice Carlton just fell. Texas started the game on a 14-0 run, and now lead 18-5 against South Carolina in the SEC championship. Johnson misses the jumper. Rebound, Texas and Cunningham. Booker. Kick out Harmon. Harmon's three. Rims out. Rebound, South Carolina. It's Edwards. Tessa Johnson calling for it. She'll put up a three, and it's no good. Lee with a rebound for Texas, trying to run the floor. This is Lee. Now it's Booker. Harmon. Harmon on the move. Now over to Carlton. Booker. Turn around. You bet. Booker with two more down low. Folks, Texas leads by 15. 20-5 with 2:26 to play in the first. McDaniel. Now Latson. Latson. Bounce pass now over to Ocott. McDaniel for three, and it's good from the right corner for Maddie McDaniel. Lead back to a dozen now. It's a 20-8 Texas lead. Now here is Rory Harmon. Raven Johnson is A-OK, by the way. She's come back to the scores table, set to check in. Cunningham with two more inside. She has 6 points. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. McDaniel for South Carolina. McDaniel, the bounce pass down to Tessa Johnson. And the layup no good, but she got fouled in the process. Texas, the number 3 seed. South Carolina, the number 1 seed. Just starting in a 14-0 run. Go back to live action, and Tessa Johnson misses the first free throw. Second free throw, good from Tessa Johnson. And it's now 22-9, Texas on top. Rory Harmon with it now for the Horns. .13 game. Harmon. Now it's Lee. Lee. Booker. Drives. No. Booker has the rebound though. Carlton a three. Got it. Carlton makes a three from the right wing. She only averages 9 a game. She has 11 in this first quarter. Raven Johnson with it now. Johnson on the right block. Edwards. Edwards. Kick out. McKeer for three, and that's good. It's only her 11th made three of the year. I got McKeer. Number 6 recruit of the nation, according to ESPN. And it's a 25-12 Texas lead. Here is Carlton. Carlton scores. 2 more for Justice Carlton. And 13 points. McDaniel trying to move. McDaniel drives. Latson, no. Booker the rebound. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. 2. Harmon 1. Harmon 35-footer. Almost went in. That's about the only thing that didn't go right for Texas in those first 10 minutes. What a first quarter for the University of Texas. They lead it 27-12 over South Carolina. We're back after this. Texas with a 27-12 lead after 10 minutes of play in Greenville in the SEC Women's Basketball Championship. South Carolina going for the steal, and it ends up landing in the hands of Justice Carlton. Now we get a stoppage here at 9:51. So here's Texas now with the inbounds pass. Leading it by 15. Here's Rory Harmon now on the left wing. Harmon now dribbles around McDaniel. Harmon, 15-footer, too strong. Rebound, South Carolina and Okai. Edwards. Edwards inside. Counted as the foul for Joyce Edwards. Chance at a three-point play. 70% free throw shooter. Edwards averaging 20 points a game in this tournament, but misses the free throw. Rebound gathered in by Texas. Lead still at 13. Here is Rory Harmon. Cunningham. Crump. Crump, fadeaway jump shot. Good. Leah Crump knocks it down, and Texas with the lead, 29-14. Here is McKeer. And McKeer drives and scores. Lead at 13. McKeer with 5 points on the day. Now here is Harmon, top of the key. Crump, right wing. Harmon, top of the key. Harmon spinning. Harmon now to Crump. Her three. No. Rebound South Carolina. Gamecocks run. Outlet. McKeer layup. Missed it. Crump got the rebound. Well, they're getting McKeer some kind of involved in this opening half. Here is Rory Harmon. Now Carlton. 13 to shoot. Lob. Pass picked off by Okai. McDaniel on the run for South Carolina. Eurostep McDaniel. No foul call. Looked like there was some contact. Could have been called either way. Ref decided to swallow the whistle. Booker gave to Harmon. Harmon now for Texas on the right wing. Finds Booker. Now here is Cunningham. Cunningham, now Booker. Booker to Harmon. Baseline. Cunningham misses. South Carolina has it going the other way. Chance to cut into the deficit more for the Gamecocks. 2:30 win teams, two number one seeds. South Carolina definitely a 1. Texas, in all probability, a 1. Johnson, right wing. Raven Johnson. Now McKeer. McKeer double team. Now over to Raven Johnson. 5 to shoot. 3 to shoot. Raven Johnson drives. No, but a foul. So here's Raven Johnson at the free throw line. And the first free throw good for Raven Johnson. Another one coming. Johnson very good at the line, 84%. 15 points, their largest deficit after the first quarter since quarters began in the 2015-16 season. Raven Johnson hits them both, and South Carolina has chipped into it a little bit. The lead is now at 11. Harmon now over to Ashton Judd. Now it's Lee. And went for the steal. Did McKeer. Out of bounds it goes. Still 16 on the shot clock. Texas started 7 of 7, but just 7 of 16 cents. Lead at 11. Lee. Driving. Bounce pass. Clicked off the heel of Latson. Latson ends up getting the ball. Now she pushes. Now Tornabeze into the game. We didn't see her yesterday. Saw her a lot on Friday against Kentucky. Raven Johnson, saw her a lot yesterday. And she adds 2 more to the total. And South Carolina within 9 of the Gamecock faithful getting loud. 29-20 with 6:08 to go. Judd now over to Crump. Crump on the take. Crump scores. Great move by Crump. Okot. Now Raven Johnson. Oh boy, that was over and back. She tried not to touch it, but over and back is the call. $31-20. In the lane, here is Judd. Another turnover. South Carolina trying to stay in it. So here is South Carolina on the run. Tornabeze lays it in. 9-point game, and South Carolina has come to life a little bit. The bench only had 5 yesterday. 12 points for the bench today. Texas trying to move. Here's Brianna Preston, and a much-needed bucket as Preston lays it in. Preston makes it an 11-point game. Here's McDaniel. And offensive foul on South Carolina. Dawn Staley, none pleased. 4:59 to go first half. 33-22, Texas leads the SEC Women's Championship game. Watchalong on Ultimate Sports Media. A reminder coming up at halftime. Get you caught up on what else is happening on this busy Sunday as 8 women's tickets to the NCAA tournament are being punched. 4 men's tickets. All the basketball scores that you could ever want coming your way at halftime. Texas up 11 with 4:59 to play first half in this SEC championship game. So here is Preston for Texas. Lee. Preston. Now Lee. Crump. Off the mark and no good. Rebounded by McKeer. McKeer. Tornabize for 3. Too strong. Off the heel. Rebounded by Crump. Now over to Preston. Preston on the right wing. Preston now over to Crump. Crump 3. That one's good. It rattles in for Leah Crump, and Texas now back up by 14. McDaniel. Now over to Latson. Edwards inside. No good, but a foul. Raven Johnson, boy, she's had trouble getting it inbounded, and a 5-second call. Boy, this is uncharacteristic level of sloppy from South Carolina in this first half. Texas has forced 28 5-second violations this season. That is 13 more than any Division I team. Once again, proving we have a stat for everything. Here's Lee on the right wing. Lee. Give it to Carlton. High post, Oldacre. Or to Beze, the blocker, they call foul there? They did. I just cannot get over how. And now credit to Texas. They've taken advantage, and they have just come out and they have kicked butt. First free throw, good. (37-22) Texas. Second free throw, good. Oldacre. And the Texas lead now at 16. Latson. Now over to Raven Johnson, and another foul. Edwards inbounds to Tornabize. Latson, 7-0 run for Texas. Tessa Johnson. Edwards inside. Not even close. Oldacre the rebound. Texas running with numbers. Kick out. Lee for 3. That's good. Jordan Lee, and Texas is up 19. A 10-0 run for the Burnt Orange. Tornabize, too long on the 3. Lee. Preston. Crump. Now over to Preston. Preston now moving left wing. Lee. Jump shot. No good. Tornabize skies the rebound. Here's Edwards. Edwards. No good. Second bite of the cherry does go. Good stick-to-itiveness by Joyce Edwards. 4 points for her. 17-point lead for Texas. Preston. Carleton with 14 to shoot. Now back to Preston. Crump. Free throw line jump shot. A little too strong. Bounces into the hands of Tessa Johnson. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Oh, Carleton nearly had the steal. Latson did a good job of keeping it, though. Now Raven Johnson on the left wing. 16 to shoot. Trying to run. Tornabeze set to the screen. Raven Johnson moves. Now steps back. Oh, good pass. Edwards all alone off the window and in. Good pass. Good cut by Edwards to lay it in. .84 seconds to play in the first half. A 15-point lead for Texas. Here's Oldacre on the left wing. Oldacre and pass, threw it away, and no South Carolina player touched it on the way through. So it's Gamecock basketball. So the inbounds pass into the hands of Tornabeze. Boy, Vic Schaefer is in the referee's grill about something. There's Raven Johnson. Bounce pass to Edwards. Cut out. And Vic Schaefer is still incensed at the referee. I think she wanted a push. Oh, Raven Johnson, some feet got tangled. She may have kicked out at Preston. I think that's what he was complaining about. Nevertheless, Texas up 15. They have the ball. Preston. Cunningham now to Crump. Crump with 17. On the timer. Pull-up jump shot. Good. Lee with 5 after that jump shot. Here is McDaniel. Now McDaniel with it. Latson. Pass cut out. Picked out of bounds. It'll stay with South Carolina. 14 on the shot clock. 7-second difference between game and shot clock. Pass deflected. Another Texas steal. Crump misses layup. Tornabeze called for a foul on the follow-up. I gotta be honest, the first angle looked all ball. Dawn Staley certainly thinks that was all ball. So do the partisans in Greenville that are clad in garnet and black. Let's look. Oh, boy. I think the 13,000 in garnet and black and the head coach of the team in garnet and black have a good case. That looked like a pretty clean block. Now, Dawn Staley is having a chat with her director of video operations. You might remember yesterday, first free throw, no good. He encouraged Dawn to challenge a play, an out-of-bounds play, in the LSU game yesterday, and it ended up working. Hopefully he got the raise we demanded that he got. Both free throws missed, rebound Tornabeze. Here's Johnson, Tessa Johnson with 8. Tessa Johnson off the screen with 6, and then she is bumped. Perhaps a give-back call, the foul on Carleton. Two fouls for Carleton. She'll go to the bench for the last 6 seconds of the quarter. First free throw is good. Now another one for Tessa Johnson. Makes that one as well. Inbounds pass, a little bit of a slight deflection. Crump, 2 seconds. Booker beats the buzzer. And Texas, with a dominating first half, takes a 45-28 lead with them into the halftime locker room. They are 20 minutes away from their first SEC championship in just their second year in the league. They've never lost under Vic Schaefer when they lead by 10 or more at the break. They lead by 17 here. We've got the scores coming up on the flip side. All Texas after 20 minutes in Greenville. 45-28. The Burnt Orange lead at intermission in the SEC Women's Championship game. Hi again, everybody. I'm Seth Eaves. Let's get you a couple miles that's happening across the country on this big conference tournament day. Again, 8 conferences are sending automatic bids to the NCAA tournament. Yesterday, the first bid was punched out of the Ohio Valley Conference by Western Illinois. Today, several other championships are being had. Let's take a look around the country, shall we, at championship games. Talk about a game that a lot of people thought would be competitive, but it has not been at all. The Big Ten championship game, the Big Ten Women's Championship, UCLA, the number 2 team in the land, putting a hurting on Iowa, 90-43 with 2:09 to go. The Bruins are going to make it 2 for 2 in terms of Big Ten championships. 31-1, UCLA is on their way to being in. This also, in essence, clinches, you would suspect, the last number 1 seed for Texas, because Iowa, many felt, was the last team to enter that they would have a chance at it. If Texas lost and Iowa won, maybe the Hawkeyes had a case. That's not going to happen, though. UCLA with a commanding 92-43 win in the Big Ten championship game. As we continue to look around the country, again, we're doing just the championship games first. So the SEC you're listening to is 1, Big Ten 2. How about our third one? Big 12 championship in Kansas City. That's about an hour away. 15th ranked West Virginia and 10th ranked TCU will fight for the title in that conference. What a game in Duluth in the ACC championship. Number 13 Duke makes it back-to-back. They beat 12th ranked Louisville 70-65 in overtime. Carol Lawson's team, ACC tournament champs, at worst, a number 3 seed, maybe an outside chance at a 2, but probably a 3 when the bracket gets unveiled next week. A 10 Women's Championship game, that one getting underway very soon. George Mason and Rhode Island, a couple of solid teams playing in that one. There is a Cinderella this week in Women's Conference Tournament Championship Week. And who is that Cinderella, you may ask? How about they are the trying to Google it here. They are the Sanford Bulldogs. What a story that they have been. The team out of Birmingham, Alabama, a team that entered the weekend as the number 6 seed and was just 13-18 on the regular year. They beat the 3 seed Wofford on Thursday. They beat the 2 seed ETSU Friday. And today, they knock out the top seed and regular season champ Chattanooga. Sanford with a 16-18 record. They're in the field of 68 with a SoCon auto bid. 72-67, they beat Chattanooga. They're your SoCon champions. Big South Women's Championship later tonight. Radford faces off with High Point. And also another championship game that's getting very close to getting cranked up. The Summit League Championship starts in just mere moments. That should be a good one. A couple of 26-plus win teams as South Dakota State meets North Dakota State. Other women's conference tournaments that are going on. Other women's conference tournaments that aren't in the finals but are in rounds. Big East, 5:21 to go. As expected, another win coming for top-ranked Connecticut. They lead 92-43 over Creighton with 5:21 to go. The second semifinal will be between Seton Hall and Villanova. That game's going to start around 5 o'clock. At the MAAC semifinals, 25th ranked Fairfield in a fight with Merrimack. 46-41, the Stags lead. They play with 1:43 to go in the third in Atlantic City. The winner gets 26-5 Quinnipiac in the championship. They beat Iona in overtime 63-62. Mountain West quarterfinals starting in Las Vegas, and a potential surprise in the cards here. 4:51 to go in the third. Air Force at 14-17 leads top seed San Diego State 43-38. Again, that's in the third. We'll try to keep you posted. The other three quarterfinals, we'll see Boise State against New Mexico. It pits Fresno State against UNLV and Grand Canyon against Colorado State. Sunbelt semifinals, Sunbelt women's semifinals. First championship ticket has been punched by James Madison. Their 25th win of the year was an 81-53 decision over Georgia Southern. In the second semifinal, they're at the half in Pensacola. Troy leads Arkansas State 43-32. WCC quarterfinals. Oregon State, the defending champs of that tournament, leads Portland 50-43 with 5:21 to go. San Francisco and Santa Clara will get it going a little bit later tonight. Other women's conference tournament action of note. Are there any other games going on? Big Sky tournament will start here. Montana State at 4:30 in the Big Sky second round. So that'll be coming up soon. Earlier today in that tournament, Idaho, the top seed, won their 27th of the year, beating Weber State 66-52. And Purdue Fort Wayne advanced in the Horizon League with an 85-49 win over IU Indianapolis. Now to the men's college basketball scene. Let's start in the men's top 25, regular season final day of the regular season. Number 11, Illinois. Again, these are men's scores. The number 11 men's team in the land, Illinois, leads Maryland 37-34 at the half. Big game coming up in about 20 minutes. Number 8, Michigan State, and number 3, Michigan. Also tonight, Iowa plays number 5, Nebraska. 4 automatic bids to the men's tournament being handed out today, and 3 have been decided. You might have seen, in case you might have been with us earlier. If you were with us, you know on the stream earlier, as seen earlier on the Ultimate Sports Media. High Point, 30th win of the year. They go back-to-back in the Big South with a 91-76 win over Winthrop. Also, for the first time in a decade, we welcome Northern Iowa back to the field of 68. They beat UIC 84-69 in the Missouri Valley Championship. A-Sun, whoever won that game was going to be... So actually, I thought that game was over. It is not. Whoever won that Big South game, the A-Sun game, it's a first-timer, and what a doozy. Queens leads Central Arkansas 81-80 with 13 seconds left. Later tonight, North Dakota meets North Dakota State for the Summit League Championship and an automatic bid. Other men's tournament games going on today. 2 West Coast Conference games tonight. San Francisco v. Oregon State and Pacific at Santa Clara. Patriot League semifinals. Stunner in Annapolis. Top seed Navy, 26 wins. 26 is all they'll get. Boston University stuns them 73-72. Boston U will play Lehigh Wednesday for the Patriot Championship. They beat Colgate 76-69. So Boston and Lehigh will play for the Patriot League crown. Sunbelt semis tonight. Southern Miss versus Troy. Georgia Southern against Marshall. Soak on semis. Western Carolina, East Tennessee State underway. That game's tied at 5 of the first half. UNCG Furman will play later tonight. MAAC semis. It'll be Marist Merrimack and Fairfield Siena. Horizon League second round action. Green Bay leads Northern Kentucky 25-22 in the first. Starch Madness tonight. Idaho State, Portland State, and Idaho Montana State. Upset in the CAA. Top seed UNC Wilmington is gone. Campbell beat them 85-70 in the second quarterfinal. Monmouth leads Drexel 38-35 early in the second. Later tonight, Towson, Charleston, and William and Mary against Hofstra. Southland tournament gets cranked up today with Houston Christian New Orleans and Northwestern State Nichols. Here, Texas, South Carolina. 7th meeting in the last 421 days. All of them have been as AP top 5 opponents. $45-28. Edwards, South Carolina, down by 17. They'll go from right to left as you follow along. Texas left to right. Raven Johnson inside. Ocott Now it's Latson. Edwards. Inside, score it. Joyce Edwards gets the second half scoring started for South Carolina, and it's a 15-point game. Be 5:30. Oh, good pass inside. And Madison Booker with two more. $47-30. Here it is now. Here is Raven Johnson now for South Carolina. And Raven Johnson hits the shot. 47-32. 8:50 to go. Texas up 15 in the third quarter, I should say. There's obviously time left of the game. Here's Carlton now for Texas. And a drive into the lane and a foul. And it's like Raven Johnson was the one that committed it. Meanwhile, we've got one eye on this Queens Central Arkansas men's tournament finish. The A-Sun. Oh, great inbounds pass. Harmon blew the bunny and then tipped it in. Off balance. What a play. Acott for three. No. Tessa Johnson off the window. Scores. 49-34 Texas. Here is Rory Harmon now. Harmon on the left wing. Harmon gives it off to Booker. Booker now to Carlton, right wing. Now it's Lee. Lee on the right wing. Lee trying to go with it. Here is Lee. 8 seconds on the timer. Lee trying to move. Finds Booker left block. Booker's jump shot is good. Madison Booker hits it. Boy, she is smooth with that shot, isn't she? Here's Raven Johnson. Now Tessa Johnson. And ball poked away out of bounds. It's going to stay with South Carolina. Here is Edwards. Edwards looks for some help. Long cross court pass. Whoa, into about the fourth row. Other side of the arena. Turnover, and it is Texas basketball. $17-point. Booker. Here's Carlton. Free throw line jumper. Too strong. Rebound, Cunningham. Cunningham rejected by Ocott. Great save, Cunningham to Lee. Everything coming up right for Texas. Lee inside, no. And it's tipped and into the hands of Raven Johnson. Raven Johnson, now it's Ocott. Ocott off the window, no. And the rebound gathered in by Cunningham. $17-point lead for Texas. Booker. Off a screen. Booker now finds Carlton. 5 to shoot. Carlton fade away. And a foul. 2.9 on the shot clock as well. Staley perplexed. First free throw, good for Carlton, and she'll get another. Carlton makes them both. Texas now up by 19 in this one. Latson now gives it to McDaniel. McDaniel on the move. Here is Okot. Okot needs help. Okot traveled. My, oh my. Texas up by 19. Lee. Now it's Booker. Booker on the left wing. Bounce pass to Cunningham. Cunningham inside. No good. Rebound to Bize, and then she gets fouled. And it's a hell ball there. Well, I thought the foul was against Texas. Actually, they're going to say it was on South Carolina. Oh, it was on Texas. That's right. No shooting foul. Seth, you're an idiot. That's 3 fouls on Carlton, so keep that in mind as McDaniel dribbles across the front court. McDaniel drives inside and lays it in. Maddie McDaniel with the lay-in. 7 points for McDaniel. 17-point game. Still a big, long way to go for South Carolina. Carlton, really a steal. Gets back into the hands of Booker. Still 15 on the timer. Booker's fade away from 3 is no good. Ball tapped around. Goes into the hands of Carlton, now back to Harmon. Harmon. Booker with 11 to shoot. Booker on the drive. Booker the midi. Got it. Booker with a silky smooth mid-range shot. And trading baskets is not going to help South Carolina by any stretch. Latson. Bize. Counted and one. For the mid-season addition to the roster, the spring semester addition from France. And that'll take us to a break. 4:21 in the third. It is all Texas in Greenville, the SEC Women's Championship. 55-38 Texas. Back we are at the SEC Women's Championship. Longhorns with the basketball at a comfortable lead, trying to add to it. Here's a jumper from the left block, and that one is good. Ashton Judd into the game and getting in on the act. And the Texas lead at 19. Could you have ever imagined that this would have been a thing? It's just crazy how this works. Here's McDaniel driving. Latson, straightaway three is off the mark. It rims out. Rebound falls into the hands of Harmon. Latson has yet to score today. That is quite staggering to me. Of course, everything about this game has been quite staggering, though, let's be honest. Here's Booker. Judd drives. Blocked by Edwards. Out of bounds. And, hey, look, Wanda Sykes is in the house. Hey, famous dignitary alert. Haven't been able to say famous dignitaries in a game in a while. Wanda Sykes would fit the bill. I wonder what she thinks of what's happening here. He's being all Texas. Booker, 13-foot jump shot, rims out. Edwards with the rebound, and then a foul on the way down on Texas. Schaefer still none pleased with what's happening. Happy International Women's Day, by the way, to all of you out there, all the women out there. What a great day to have International Women's Day. 8 women's basketball championship games. Great stuff. Drive inside. McKeer, and McKeer misses. She'll go to the line for a foul. Women really do rule everything, I tell you. None of us are anything without women, that's for sure. Every day really should be International Women's Day if you sit here and think about it. McKeer makes the first free throw. Second free throw is also good. 17-point lead for Texas. So Harmon now with it for Texas. Harmon now gives it to Booker. Offensive foul. Texas away from the ball. So McDaniel up the floor for South Carolina. Can they get something going here? Down by 17. Latson. Tornabeze. Now over to Latson. And Latson runs into Cunningham, but Cunningham is called for the foul. Free throws coming up here for South Carolina. Latson, first free throw, no good. Another one coming. Second free throw, also no good. And the rebound gathered in by Oldacre. Now Harmon across midcourt. Harmon hits the accelerator. Harmon left wing. Here is Harmon. 12 to shoot. Harmon on the right wing. Harmon. Harmon, pull up just inside the paint, in and out. Loose ball, tapped around, still tapped around, and finally Latson comes out of there with it. Latson, nearly a steal. Latson, and a foul on Texas. Goodness gracious, that sequence was like a game of hot potato. That foul's on Booker, that's her third. First free throw is good. Second free throw also good. With 1:35 to go in the third, South Carolina back to within 15. So here's Texas to inbound. Booker. Booker, 18 to shoot. Booker now moves to the right. Booker drives, blocked Edwards, loose, picked up South Carolina. McKeer, long pass, and deflected out of bounds. Last touch, Texas Oldacre. There's a break in the action, so we'll take it as well here on Ultimate Sports Media Watchalong. out of the break, 57-42 to lead for Texas. So Texas started the game on a 14-0 run. Texas the missionary even and Tornabeze. Now here is Raven Johnson. South Carolina needs something. There's a nice cut to the basket. That'll work. 13-point game. Tornabeze has really stepped up. Texas needs something. Booker shot no good. Rebound South Carolina. Raven Johnson. Now McKeer. Johnson 1 second. McDaniel didn't get it off. One pass too many to end the third. Texas 10 minutes away from an SEC championship in their second year in the league. They lead at 57-44 as we go to the fourth in Greenville. "57-44 Texas as we approach the final 10 minutes of this SEC championship game. South Carolina has been down as many as 19 points. If they win, it'd be their largest comeback in program history. 18 is the mark. Do they have something in the tank for these final 10 minutes, or will the Horns crash in to Greenville and in their second year in the conference win a tournament for Vic Schaefer. Texas again, but the Iowa loss for sure. Texas, they may or may not know what Iowa has done, but now Texas will figure out whatever happens in the next 10 minutes. They're going to be a number 1 seed. Your 4-1s are set. UConn, South Carolina, UCLA were locks entering the day. Texas felt pretty good after the LSU and Vanderbilt losses. Some thought maybe there would still be an outside chance for Iowa to get one if they won today and Texas lost, but Iowa, as we told you at halftime, just got absolutely railroaded by UCLA today. Texas went the last 4 minutes of the third quarter without scoring, so let's see if they can regain the momentum here. Here's a lob inside, and it's picked off by Raven Johnson. Raven Johnson on the run. Raven Johnson, jump shot off the block, no good. Off the heel, rebound Harmon. Harmon now up the floor. Goes right wing, now moves back top of the key. Now to the left wing, and she'll slow it down here just a little bit. Still 16 on the timer. Booker drives, scores. Madison Booker with 12 points, and X is up by 15. Raven Johnson on the right wing. Johnson for 3. Off the mark. And then a foul on Texas. It's going to go on Judd. Madison Booker, 12 points in this game, 8 in the second half. Inbound to Edwards, and Edwards gets a friendly roll, and South Carolina gets it to 13. Harmon on the right wing, now tries to move over to the left side. Now Judd finds the cutting Booker, and Booker, did she try to dunk that? She's fouled. It hits off the backboard. That, I swear that looked like she was trying to dunk that. Whereas Madison Booker yesterday, they were only up 2 heading into the fourth against Texas. She brought the team in the huddle in the second half, in that break period, and seemed to work. They ended up winning by double digits. Will it have a desired effect here? First free throw good for Booker. Fifth player this century with 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists in an SEC tournament game. She pulled up those numbers in the win yesterday against Mississippi. Booker with 14 as she makes that free throw. The Texas lead back to 15 with 8:40 to play. McDaniel up the floor for South Carolina. McDaniel, Tornabize, McDaniel, and Daniel's foul. First free throw, Edwards good. McDaniel makes the first. Now another one coming. In and out. And a foul on South Carolina. Texas looking for some revenge after losing in last year's championship. This is Harmon for Texas. Booker, and oh, she threw it away, but she got fouled from behind. Well, that's a tough foul call on McKeer right there. Booker spins and misses. Tapped Tornabeze on the run. Here's a layup that goes for South Carolina. Latson laying it in. 4 points for Latson. And the lead now at 12 with 7:51 to play. Harmon now over to Lee. Every time South Carolina's flirted with getting back into the game, Texas has had an answer for this rate would be a possible knockout. Harmon with 7. Harmon in the paint. Hits the jumper. Rory Harmon from about 9 feet. And she's got 8. Latson now for South Carolina. Latson baseline. Kick out. McDaniel. Drives. Loose. Edwards has it. Edwards now. Back to Latson in the left corner. 10 on the timer. Latson tries to go. Latson takes it to the cup and misses. Rebound, Oldacre. So Harmon now on the right wing. Lee. Now it's Oldacre. 7 to shoot. Harmon. And it's picked off by McDaniel. Up ahead. Edwards. Counted in 1. Joyce Edwards with the nice take to the basket and a chance at a 3-point play to cut this to 11. Here is free throw. And it is good. 11-point game. South Carolina trying to get a stop. Lee with it for Texas. Oh, what a nice move. Lee knifes in. Counted in the foul for Jordan Lee. Jordan Lee with 7 points today, averaging 15 in this tournament. Missed the free throw, though. Tornabeze to rebound. Raven Johnson up the floor. Raven Johnson now on the left wing. Now moves back to the right. Now right wing, Raven Johnson. 15 to shoot. Raven Johnson now trying to work. Here's Tessa Johnson, a high arcing 3. That's not even close. Rebounded by Lee. Tessa's last made field goal was at the 8:11 mark of the third quarter. Here is Texas with the basketball now. Hammond side. Booker has it. 10 to shoot. Drive in the lane, and it is no good as they missed the shot with Sidbury. Edwards, no. Edwards again. No that time. Out of bounds. Last touch, Texas. It'll stay with South Carolina, and Dalton Staley is fired up. Fired up, James. So if Matthew's not listening, he's doing a race, so that inside joke's going to fall on deaf ears. Here is Raven Johnson. Inbound pass to Okai. Ocott drives in and scores. Good work by Ocott. 5:12 to go. 11-point game once again. Booker with the basketball. Now gives it to Preston. Preston at the top of the key. Preston a bounce pass now to Carlton on the right wing. Carlton, now it's Oldacre. Oldacre with 12. Oldacre. Now Lee. Lee for 3. Bullseye! Jordan Lee right down the can. 14-point lead for the Burnt Orange. Raven Johnson inside. Here's Tessa Johnson underneath, and that one's no good. Rebound, Booker. "14-point lead for Texas. Preston now with the basketball. Preston on the right side. Preston trying to spin. Preston turn around. No. Ocott gets the rebound on a tap. Nearing the 4-minute mark. Raven Johnson drives and scores. Raven Johnson will not. She'll fight to the end. 8 points for her. South Carolina back to within a dozen. Time though running out now at 3:48 and counting. Preston with it for Texas. 16 on the timer. Now it's Lee from the left block. Her 2, no good. Got the rebound back though. And they're going to pull it out, I think, a little bit. I think Vic Shaver wants, hey, let's eat some clock here. 10 on the timer. Preston with 5. Preston. Step back. Got it. Preston hits from 15. The Texas lead is 14. And they can smell a title coming to the 40 acres. 3:16 to go. Texas ready to paint Greenville burnt orange. Texas 3-16 away from a SEC championship. They have led from the word go. They jumped out to a 14-0 lead in this game. They now lead by 14 over the top seed, the South Carolina Gamecocks. Just a heck of a performance. Texas, apparently while we were gone, there was a technical foul assessed, and Agot McKeer just missed 2 technical free throws. Gosh, you're South Carolina. You have a chance to get back into the game. Have any shot, you got to make those 2. But instead, you miss. South Carolina 11 of 19 at the foul line today. And again, the phrase I just keep coming back to is that this is an uncharacteristically sloppy performance by this South Carolina team. Oh my God, what in the world? Joyce Edwards just threw that right, and Rory Harmon. That was a Fred Brown moment right there. Carlton. Oldacre. Inside. Oldacre, new blood. Texas rolling. 4 points. Johnson on the right wing. Johnson. Bounce pass. McKeer. Good fake. McKeer jump shot. Rattles in. That's 2 for McKeer. 2.5 to play. McKeer has 9. And a Texas lead of 14. Harmon now across the midcourt stripe. Carlton, top of the key. Harmon with 10 to shoot. 8. Harmon, left block. Lee cutting the basket and laying it in. Jordan Lee, 12 points, and Texas up by 16. Raven Johnson at the other end, and a blocking foul against Texas. And it will go on Carlton, as her and Johnson both kind of felt the impact of that one. Texas will go to the tournament with a 31-3 record, as Carlton is fouled out. Assuming this holds, South Carolina likewise will be 31 up and 3 down. And they'll get ready for the big dance. Each team, of course, will get 2 games. First 2 games on their own home court, and then to either Fort Worth, Texas, or Sacramento, California for a regional site. You would have to think now that it's going to be UConn heading to Fort Worth as Johnson makes the first. UCLA will go to Sacramento. Texas might now get that second Fort Worth one, and South Carolina may have to be shipped to Sacramento. Raven Johnson misses the second. All tapped around, and it's into the hands of Harmon. 1:47 to play. Texas in command. Harmon. Harmon. Booker. Judd. Oldacre inside. No good. Ball tapped around. Loose. Judd saves it to Harmon. And a new 20 for Texas. Booker with it. Now Judd. Booker. 17-footer. Pure. Why not? 16 for Booker as we go into the final minute. And Latson misses. Vic Schaefer. One of the good guys in this sport. One of the good ones. Doesn't have that national championship. He has an SEC championship at Mississippi State. Had not beaten South Carolina in an SEC tournament game prior to today. 0-5. And all 5 losses to South Carolina he had were in the championship game. Of course, a couple of those Most of those were at Mississippi State. And you had the one at Texas last year's. Latson misses the first. Second free throw, ribs out. Texas has it with 53 seconds left. Well, they just really had it going today. They poured it on, and it never stopped. 10 on the shot clock. The ball still in the hands of Booker. Booker. Oh, 6-step back. Oh, my goodness. That's how you put some icing on a cake. Madison Booker with a filthy step back J. 18 for Booker. And perhaps MOP. McKeer for 3. No. Judd chased it down. There is a whistle with 18.7. Vic Schaefer not satisfied. The good coaches usually never are. Seconds left. Here's the end. They go for the old trick play there. McDaniel with 15 on the inbound. McDaniel drives and scores. That's 2 more. You gotta think Don Staley will not foul. It'll go into the hands of Rory Harmon as the final seconds will tick away. Texas fight, plenty of it. SEC, you bet. Texas SEC tournament champs in 2026. Their second year in the league, and Vic Schaefer's team claims the crown. The 14-0 run set the tone to a 17-point win. And you think these players love Vic Schaefer? You think this means something to them? The Booker just gave Vic Schaefer a big old bear hug. 78-61, Texas on top. And this will be a great interview with Vic Schaefer after the game. His post-game presser, he was known last year in defeat. He had that great post-game presser to his SIDs and staff that made the long trip that drove from Austin to Greenville. And the confetti flies inside the Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Kyla Oldacre has already gotten her hands on the trophy. And Texas, UConn, South Carolina, and UCLA have gotten all the pub. Vic Schaefer says, don't forget about us. Texas a winner, 78-61. We thank you for watching this women's college basketball watch-along. Congratulations to Vic Schaefer of the University of Texas Longhorns, the 2026 SEC Women's Basketball Tournament Champions.